Hi everyone. I'm just getting my um, Facebook up as well. So I am going live or am live on both Facebook and YouTube. All right, perfect. Okay. Hi everybody. It's Tuesday, September the 21st. And this is Tuesdays with the RD. So thank you very much for viewing and attending and joining my Tuesdays with the RD segment. Just for those who are new to following me, my name is DRD and I am a certified personal growth coach. So my mission is to help people, others, find their purpose, discover why they were created, and just encourage people to be their best and also just know they're not alone in whatever they're going through. So this Tuesday with the Arthi segment is something that I created last year. In 2020 is when I first started doing it. And so I am back to doing these every Tuesday, and I am live on Tuesdays on Facebook and YouTube. And then I think I may post a recording or maybe snippets of the recording on Instagram, but I'm not sure. So with that being said, today's topic is what I want to talk about today is what do you do in the valley? And so we all have mountaintops and we all have valleys in our lives. And so when we think about the mountaintops, those are pretty easy. We're like, yeah, mountaintop is when I'm feeling good. Maybe I got a promotion. Maybe I got married. Maybe I purchased my first house or a new house or moving to a new place. Maybe I brought a new car. Maybe just things are going really well for me. So that would be a mountaintop. And then there are your valleys. So your valleys, when we think about a valley, we think of it being like a low point in our lives. And a valley could be you experience grief, so you lost someone, so you're experiencing grief. A valley could be you lost your job. A valley could be what else? A valley could be financial loss, could be a valley, or just having hardships. And we all know there are times when we just have days when, or weeks or months that it's just horrible, and it's like a lot of rain. Like I was driving over the weekend, and there was a lot of rain, and I thought about that normal drive that I take, it takes, let's say, 20 minutes when it's sunny outside, when it's beautiful, it's no pressure, it's not a lot of work to make that drive 20 minutes. But when it's raining and when the rain comes, there's darkness, all of a sudden that 20-minute drive becomes like a 30-minute, a 40-minute drive. So when I think about it in that way, and when we think about the valleys is like having a lot of rain in your life. And sometimes we're in those valleys, sometimes because of choices we made, but sometimes it's things that have happened to us. So when we're in those valleys, we can't see our way out. And think about a picture of a valley, right? There's no like way, when you're down in it, you can't see the mountaintop. You can only see things around you, right? And so when I think about a valley, I think about all the things that could happen to us or our choices, but it's still a valley. And so what do we do in the valley? And so I was having lunch with a friend, and we were talking about the last, I don't know, 18 months of my life. And she was asking me like, well, what got you through it? Like what helped you get through that time? And I was like, you know what? That actually was a valley time in my life, and what was it that helped me to get through it, right? To get me to the mountaintop. Um, so think about, and I want you to ask yourself, if you're in a valley, what are you doing while you're in that valley? Like, have you stopped still and just, laid on the ground and was like, you know what, take me away. I can't handle this valley. Have you given up on any dreams or goals or visions that you have for your life? Have you totally isolate yourself from other people because you're in that valley? What are you doing? And because eventually you're not going to be in the valley. Eventually, you're going to be on the mountaintop. So valleys we don't stay in the valley. We get out of the valley and we be on the mountaintop, and then later on we'll be back in the valley. So what do you do? What plans do you make? What actions do you take when you're in the valley? So for me, well, two things I want to share. One is when I was in the valley, I discovered who I really was. I discovered how strong I really was. I discovered even more of my character when I was in the valley. The other thing is that I discovered when I was in the valley who cares about me. So I discovered two things. I discovered who I was, but I also discovered who really, really in my circle, in my life, who really, really cared about me. And that became very clear when I was in the valley. And so for me, my valley composed of four components, I would say, of four things that were happening in my life. One, I was unemployed. Two, I was going through a separation from my husband. Three, I was, mm, I would say, kind of homeless, or maybe not really homeless, but I was like living with a friend. So for me, I didn't have my own place, my own address. So that was like being homeless. And then four, we were in the pandemic. And so I don't know about you, but for me, it was scary out there, and being unemployed during the pandemic. And as a result of the pandemic, I didn't know or think sometimes if I would get a job during the pandemic. So that was really scary. And the other thing was the civil unrest, and that really impacted me because I didn't know if things were going to get worse, how things were going to pan out, what was going to happen. So that was a concern for me. So there were five things that caused me to be in my valley. And so when I think about the valley and I think about what I did, I want to share with you 10 things, 10 that I did when I was in my valley. And I'm hoping that you can relate to some of these things, or it may inspire you if you're in the valley to do some things. So the first thing I did while I was in my valley was I really decided to focus on myself. And being I'm the oldest of seven in my family, and I've always been a person to take care of other people, whether it's taking care of my siblings, taking care of my family members, taking care of my friends. I've always been the one that's been supportive and there for other people. And when I was in the valley, I told myself, you know what, you need to take care of yourself. And what did that mean? I had to figure it out, but I knew that I had to come first. Two, I decided to keep moving. So I decided that I wasn't going to let this valley be the end of my story. I wasn't going to stay in the valley forever. That one day I would get out of the valley. And so that meant that while I'm in the valley, I had to keep moving. I had to get out of bed every day, that I needed to make a plan for what I wanted to do every day so that I wasn't sitting still and not doing anything. And so I would encourage you, if you're in the valley, to keep moving. Find something that gets you out of bed every day, or at least write down something you want to accomplish. Even if it's a simple thing like, I need to make sure I get up and empty the dishwasher, then get up and do that, because that could be it's a small thing, but it's definitely a motivator. Could be a motivator for you. So my third thing I decided to do is I decided to get out of bed every day. So first I decided that I need to be moving, and then second I said, well, if I'm going to move every day, I really need to get out of the bed. And for me, that meant walking. So I have a chocolate lab, as some of you know, and I decided just to get up and walk him 1 to 3 miles every day. And that helped me not only get out of bed, but it helped me to stay out of the bed when it was so tempting to go back in there. Four, I decided to eat healthy. So when I was in my valley and I looked around, I discovered, you're a little bit overweight and out of shape. So I decided that when I got out of the valley, I didn't want to feel not well because I had eaten very not good things. So, for example, if I spent the time in my valley eating fried food or fast food every day and eating chips and eating all the sweets because of my emotional self was going through being in the valley, if I would have focused, not even focused on, because when we're eating not well, not good, we're not focusing on it. We're just doing it because it feels good for us. So if I'm in the valley and I'm feeding my body things that could have an impact on my body later, then when I get out of the valley and I'm on the mountaintop, what happens? I don't feel well. I can't keep moving. I'm exhausted because I filled my body. And remember, body is fuel, and so I do that. And so I needed to, when I was in my valley, I really need to say, okay, I'm going to eat right. I'm going to eat greens. I'm going to eat salads. I'm going to eat fruits and vegetables. I'm going to make sure I take my vitamins every day. Like, I purposely did that. And on the weekends, I will have some fried food or some sweets during the week, I just made myself do that. And I encourage you to do that as well, because it's so important. The other thing I decided to do, number five, not only number four, I decided to eat healthy, but number five, I decided to take care of my body. So what did that mean for me? That meant that no longer was I just going to lay in the bed. No longer was I'm just going to be lazy. I decided to get up and I started walking. And also with walking, I decided to exercise. So every day I'm walking, but then every day I'm doing 30 minutes of exercise. And it was simple things like a video on YouTube, or I had a membership to Body Groove. But so it's not, you don't need to have a gym membership. You don't need to do all this fancy stuff to exercise. Just start moving, start doing things around your house, run in place. I remember when we were kids, we used to like jump up and down. Like we would do jumping jacks in gym. We would do suicides. Like, we didn't have equipment and all of that. We were in elementary school. So sometimes channel elementary school, and remember the things you used to do without having the fancy equipment and the fancy gym memberships. So that was what I did, and that was number five. Number six, I decided to listen to affirmations. So what I decided to do was that I hadn't really done affirmations in the past, and but I knew I was struggling with my, I don't know if I was, yeah, I guess I will say my self-esteem, because I was going through so much. And so I had signed up for Audible, and because I was at the point where I was walking, but I was listening to music every day. And I was thinking, maybe I should listen to something else, to help just my mindset, help my spiritual being, and all of that. And so I signed up for Audible, and with Audible came these affirmations. I started listening to the affirmations, and then I started to listen to them when I would go to sleep at night. And I will say they really helped a lot. They helped with my mindset. They helped with how I felt about myself, and they helped me just continue to move forward during that time. Um, Number 7. So with the affirmations, it helped me to do number 7, which was I decided to stop having negative thinking. And this is huge, right? Because when we're going through things, when we're in the valleys, sometimes we can be very negative. We can be negative to people in our household. We can be negative to the unfortunate the person in the in the grocery store. We could be, if something happens, we don't get, somebody doesn't get our order right. We're cranky and negative, and we're like, angry all the time, and then it turns into bitterness. And so for me, I know people who are 80 years old, 70 years old, who are filled with bitterness. And I was thinking, I don't want to be an old, bitter woman, or a bitter person. And so I decided that I was really going to not stop thinking negative. And so the affirmations really helped me to stop thinking negative. And so I encourage you that if you struggle with that, if you struggle with when you're going through things that negativity just comes out, I will encourage you to find some affirmations, read, the book of Psalms, read Proverbs, like do things that will help you not be negative, because you don't want to be stuck in negativity. And number 8, and this is really, really what's important for me, I continue to visualize my future. So even though I'm not working, I don't have a job, I'm living with a friend, um, I'm just going through so much. I don't know what my future holds. I still did a vision board. I still dreamed about where I wanted to be in life. I didn't stop doing that because I knew, and this is the part of me having faith, but I just knew that my life wasn't going to continue to stay where it was. And so with number 8 of visualize my future, 9 is that, remember, I don't have my own place. So I'm staying with a friend. Well, I didn't know when I was going to move. I didn't know when I was going to get that job to help me have the money to move. But I decided to start thinking about what kind of furniture I wanted in my new place. And I know that sounds so crazy. It's like, really, you were thinking about what furniture you wanted? Yes, because I knew that if I could visualize what furniture I wanted in my new place, then what I was saying to myself was, it's going to be okay. You're going to move. You're going to have your own place. You're going to have that job you want. You're going to have the things that you want, but you just got to get through the valley because the mountaintop is right there. You can see it, but you have to get through the valley to get to the mountaintop. So I dreamed about little things that I wanted in my life as well. And number 10, what I did when I was going through my valley is that I decided to love myself. And I didn't realize that in certain areas of my life, I really wasn't loving myself because I had a lot of regrets and a lot of things that I was questioning. And then I remember one of my friends was like, "You got to work on self love." And I was thinking, what is self love? Like that sounds very selfish to me to say that. But when I started really studying self love, I really started to understand what it meant, and I decided that, yeah, I need to really love myself and have self love so that I can really just embrace the valley and understand it. So those were my 10 things that I did while I was in the valley. And my valley lasted for months. It didn't last for a year, but it did last time. But those days and weeks and months just seemed to drag on and on. So it felt a lot longer. But I will say, I think that by me doing these 10 things, it helped my valley not be so long. So I hope that helps. I just wanted to share that with you today. And if there's a topic that you want me to talk about or you want me to share some information about, let me know. But I will definitely be back next Tuesday to share some more things to you about personal growth, because that's what this is about, personal growth. And so, with that being said, I am going to have some webinars coming up. I'm going to have one in October and then one in November, December. So watch out for that. And also, my mastermind group is started. So I have one that started earlier today, and then I have one that's starting October 5th. I believe it's on a Sunday. So if you're interested in any of the mastermind groups or the webinars, please reach out and let me know. But with that being said, until next time, keep growing, keep moving forward, and keep going. Bye for now.